we know about Jesus. So my question is about Jesus in Islam.
Excellent.
Why is he called the Messiah?
Excellent. So in the Quran it says...
who is called the Messiah other than Jesus? Anyone else?
I got you. Listen. In the Quran it says, Mal Masih ibn Maryam illa Rasulun. It says, who is the Messiah?
Yes.
Jesus, the son of Mary, except a messenger.
Okay.
So Al-Messiah here tells you there is nothing more than a messenger.
Okay, so...
relax. I got you. Right? We've been through this in San Diego, don't worry. You didn't come with anything new, right? So different prophets have been given different titles, right? For example, Ibrahim is called Khalilullah. Khalil means the friend of Allah, right? But the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in one of the hadiths also called Khalil, right? Musa alayhi salam, many of us call him Kalimullah, the one who spoke with Allah. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was called Ahmad, this was another name given to him. None of this means that they are other than a messenger, right? In Islam, the word Messiah is synonymous with being a messenger. It is a savior. And what is the salvation is when people believe in the message and worship the one God, then they are saved.
Of course.
That's it.
Okay, so, other than Jesus, is anyone else called the Messiah?
That is besides the point. Let me explain why. Because a prophet being given a title does not make it that they're different from other prophets. Because the Quran clarifies Mal Masih. The Masih is nothing more, Isa ibn Maryam clearly,
but you're
illa Rasul.
Jesus, you're not describing the word Messiah.
The word Messiah here is given the definition of the Rasul. Why? Because in Arabic, when you have ma al-nafi and illa al-ithbat, then it clarifies that it cannot be anything other than that. Do you understand?
Again,
wait, did you understand or no? You didn't understand.
I want to explain my point.
Okay, go ahead.
So in Surah Al-Imran, in Ayah 45, right?
Sure.
Where it talks about the name, the Messiah is given to Jesus.
Sure.
Right? It talks about that, but it doesn't describe what the Messiah means, right? And then when we look at your tafsirs, like Ibn Kathir or Al-Tabari, they give different definitions of the word Messiah. But they only attribute it to Jesus, right? But they don't have a set definition. There's no consensus.
So again, I think you missed my point. That's why that's why I said, did you understand? And you just kept going, right? Exactly. So when the Quran tells you, let me explain again. If I told you, La ilaha illallah, what does it mean?
That there's only one God.
Nope. That's not what it means.
Go on, I'm not good in Arabic.
I got you. You don't have to be good in Arabic. La ilaha illallah is very common, right?
Okay.
La ilaha, there is none worthy of worship except Allah. Right? That tells you who is Allah.
Okay.
That Allah is the one, the only one that can be worshipped.
Okay, that's fine.
So it describes, because in Arabic you have nafi. Nafi means negation, and then ithbat, right? So Mal Muhammadin illa Rasulun. Right? For example, that who is Muhammad except a messenger. So that tells you about Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So then you don't need a dictionary explanation here, right? So when the Quran tells you Mal Masih, Masih is nothing more. You cannot add anything to it. Isa ibn Maryam, clearly. Illa Rasul, that tells you that the Masih is a Rasul. This gives you, if you understood the Arabic of it, it gives you the meaning. Now the Quran is a book of is a book of guidance, small book with all guidance. Every word in the Quran is not going to have a description after it, right?
So for your hadith, for your tafsirs, what does the word Messiah mean?
So the Messiah, for example, Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma, and others, like for example, Ibn Kathir is a mufassir later. I'm taking you back to the Sahaba. They explained it to be somebody who's Siddiq, somebody who's honest. In another tafsir of it, they said this is the one that's anointed, that's chosen by Allah. And as I have a video you can see, I scanned it from the tafsir, it mentioned that this is something, no, not the footnote, the actual book that I was holding in my hand. That's the last video that posted. Did you see it?
I saw your videos.
You saw the one when I was holding, and it said that this means, this can be for every prophet.
I saw that you said all prophets can be called the Messiah.
Of course.
And do you stand by that?
Yes.
Okay, so when we look at some other Muslim scholars that disagree with you.
Who?
I don't know the names.
So then why don't you bring with a name before we can discuss their opinion?
Okay, we can discuss
No, you can't say other Muslim scholars disagree and then not tell me who.
In one of your videos, right?
Okay.
When you try to how do I describe when you try to do damage control, right?
I don't do damage control.
Okay.
Okay.
That's your opinion.
Which scholar disagrees with me?
Well, there's no.
You can't name
scholars,
one.
But Ibn Kathir doesn't say there's multiple.
Ibn Kathir disagrees with me?
He doesn't say there's multiple messiahs.
Where does he say that there are not multiple messiahs?
But he only attributes it to Jesus.
Where did he say it's only for Jesus? You just made it up. You just made it up on the spot.
In Tafsir.
Okay. Bring me Ibn Kathir where he says it's only Jesus. It's only Jesus.
You haven't given a hadith where it shows that all of Messiah.
I don't need to. I gave you aqwal of Sahaba, the statements of Sahaba. I showed the book. If you saw the video, then you should know. I showed the video where it shows this can be for any prophet.
And that's
Kull al-Nabi. Huh?
Because you attached a footnote to it, right?
No, I showed the book, the tafsir book in my hand in the last video.
Of course.
Bring your phone, I'll show it to you. And first thing you said, Ibn Kathir said that it is only Jesus. Show me the proof now. Show it to me.
Of course I can show it to you.
I'm waiting. And are there others called Messiah in the Bible?
Again, we're talking about Islam.
Oh, but you're a Christian.
Of course I'm a Christian.
So you don't believe in the Bible.
I do believe in the Bible.
So there are other called Messiah in your own book.
So
But you're just trying to make a point.
My question is, right, question is, it's not about the Bible.
Oh, because you don't want to defend the Bible.
No,
Because you know you
can't.
can.
Because I want to learn about Islam.
No, you don't. Let me be honest. You want to debate. You don't want to learn. To be honest. Be honest. Look, let me ask you something.
Yes.
God knows your heart. You didn't come here to debate?
I didn't come here to debate.
You just came here to learn?
I came here to learn.
And if you're a liar, the curse of God be upon you?
Of course.
All right.
So,
To walk a little bit away from you, I don't want the lightning to hit. All right, go ahead. Where did Ibn Kathir say it's only Jesus?
so we were going to show your video first.
Sure.
Then we can show
But
you.
I also want to see your statement that Ibn Kathir is the one that said that only Jesus.
Well, we can see that, but I want to see from your channel.
Okay.
Which video are you?
Okay. Anbiya. When it says Anbiya, it says Anbiya, that is plural. So now you don't have to say those in the beginning, but when you see Jam'a, plural, that means it's those, right? So when it says Anbiya, إذا مسح به الشخص علم إنه النبي, right? If somebody is anointed with it, know that they are a Nabi, they're a prophet, right? So now when you have Jam'a,
who was anointed with it to be called Messiah?
again, so here it explains the word Masih having to do with anointment, and this would be Anbiya. It mentions it as a plural.
Who is the one that was anointed and called them to be the Messiah?
Once again, أي شخص, whoever, a person is anointed,
not whoever.
it says shakhs. It says whoever, the shakhs. You don't know. Look, shakhs. Shakhs. What does shakhs mean?
You don't know.
This is the next line. Shakhs. علموا إنه نبي.
Wait, who's this now?
This is the continuation, right?
Wait,
In the
is it a different person?
خرج من بطن. No, it's a continuation. Yeah, look.
Okay, yeah.
خرج من بطن يمسح والدهن طيب الريح. إذا مسح به الشخص, if any shakhs is مسح, I am.
No, you're not.
If anybody, shakhs, this is nakiran, and not al-shakhs, nakiran, is anointed, musiha, then know that they are a nabi. That means Masih.
No.
Here, yeah, know that he's a
that they are a
prophet.
no,
Yeah, and shakhs.
this is amazing
Shakhs
to me.
is nakiran.
This is
Now
amazing.
you're caught.
No, I'm
now
not
you're
caught. We
caught.
can break this
These
down.
are a
This is
hadith.
easy.
You're caught, book in hand. Companion or a tabi'i, which is hadith, explain that this statement can be used for any nabi, any prophet. Will you be satisfied?
I'll be satisfied that any prophet can be called the Messiah, right?
Okay.
Okay, so now we have, let's say, for argument's sake, for reason's sake,
Okay.
that all of the prophets are called the Messiah.
Okay.
Now, what does the word mean?
Okay. So Sahaba explained this word
Yeah.
to be those that are anointed by God, which is the meaning that they were chosen for prophethood.
Yeah.
Those that are honest, because the prophets are called honest, right? They're the ones that bring the truthful message, like the Prophet ﷺ was called a Sadiq and Ameen.
Yeah.
And other meanings like those that bring salvation with a message.
Okay.
You understand? So those are statements of Sahaba.
Okay.
Now, when you see the Quran,
Yeah.
if you know the Arabic language, right?
Can you show me in the Arabic language right now?
For what?
What you was just talking about?
You know, I have a video where I scanned all the books and put it on the video,
well, you
right?
can show me right here now, can't you?
I don't have my books with me, do I?
But you have a Quran with you. Show me from the Quran.
No. Again, when the Quran.
Yes.
Okay, let me open your mind here, okay?
Oh, we're not talking about.
Hold on. I'm opening your mind. Relax. Don't be so scared of the Bible. You guys are like, it's like kryptonite for you guys. You bring the Bible, like, yeah. Okay.
I love the Bible.
No, you don't.
It's the word of God.
We'll find out in a minute. Okay.
Okay.
So there is a word, Shama.
Yes.
What does it mean?
I don't know how to read the context.
Read it.
Are we going to, is this going to prove
I'm showing a point. I'm trying to explain something to you.
Okay.
So what does the word, I just randomly opened this, right?
Of course.
What does it mean?
All your notes and everything. And after him was Shammah, the son of age.
Okay, what does Shama mean?
I think it's a person, if I'm not mistaken.
Show it to me in the Bible what it means.
We don't need to show that, right?
Why?
Because when we look at the Quran...
Hold on. I showed you the meaning of the Masih from the Quran, but you want a definition of the meaning, right? From the Quran. You said, show it to me from the Quran.
No,
I just opened this.
Definition.
Mal Masih.
Show me the definition.
Okay.
Let's explain. Now, this man purchased the field with a waste of iniquity. What did he do with the money?
My internet's slow, so you have to be patient. No, I got it.
You guys leave it down.
Okay. The Masih.
The Messiah, son of Mary, was not but a messenger.
Okay, now.
Other messengers have passed on before them, and his mother was a supporter of truth. They both used to eat food. Look how we make clean to them the signs. Then we
Clear
look
to
how,
them. Clear.
Yeah, clear to them the signs. Then look how they are deluded. So
Look how they are deluded.
The Messiah.
Okay, now hold on. Right? Here it tells you the Messiah is nothing more than a messenger. Okay, now hold on. Just to be fair, because you said you didn't come to debate, you came to learn.
Of course.
If I just randomly I open Shama, how I explain this to you, explain that word to me from the Bible. You cannot.
You did not explain it to me.
Okay.
You said the Messiah is the son of Mary. But
Who is a messenger. He's nothing more than a messenger. That explains it. Now, just that much, explain it to me for Shama.
Okay, so.
You cannot.
Okay.
You're caught. You're caught in front of everybody.
Okay,
hold on, no, hold on. You're trying to jump, and I'm not going to let you jump.
I'm not gonna jump.
You are. Because what you're doing is, you're asking me a word in the Quran, you want a linguistic definition in the Quran.
Yeah.
Now I'm telling you, do the same for the Bible if you're honest. And if you cannot, then don't expect the Quran is going to be the Messiah. By the way, this is a noun. It comes from this root word, and it has these many derivatives. It's not a dictionary, right? No, you did. You want a definition of what is the Messiah from the Quran. Now I'm asking.
I said from the Quran, from the Hadith,
yes?
or from the Tafsir.
Excellent.
And Ibn Kathir says the Messiah, the Masih, is the one that wipes.
Sure.
Ibn Abbas says something different.
Right.
And Al-Tughri
which are all correct. Because
so what is the consensus of the word Messiah?
Let me explain it to you a third time now. Okay?
You haven't.
I have, but you're not listening. But it's okay.
I am listening.
Okay. Before I do that, because you're asking for evidence for the meaning for the word Messiah from Quran and Hadith.
Quran, Hadith, or Tafsir.
Excellent. Can you give me the meaning of Shama from the Bible or Tafsir or Hadith?
Is it a title?
Yes.
Given to someone?
I don't know. You tell me.
It's not a title.
What is it?
I believe it's just a name.
How do you know that?
I don't know that because
you don't know that. Read it. It's in front of you. No. This is your Bible. You're Christian.
Of course.
So you cannot even tell me what this word is, not let alone the meaning from the Bible.
I read the Quran, didn't I?
You did? You did.
So
okay, I'll read it. No problem.
Thank you.
But if it's not there, then you're going to be honest and say that the Bible doesn't tell you what it is. Okay?
If it's important.
Okay. So Bible's not important?
I said the word's important.
So any word in the Bible is not important?
We don't need a dictionary for every single word, like the word
Ah,
table,
whoa. What did you just say? We don't need a dictionary for every single word. But in the Quran, you want an explanation for every single word. Your double standards are getting cut.
I don't want an explanation for every single word.
Okay.
I want an explanation.
Okay. I'll tell you. Let me make it even easier for you. Right? What does the word prophet mean in the Bible? Show me the meaning.
The meaning.
Go ahead. The word prophet's important, right? It's a title.
What's the word prophet?
Show me. Go ahead.
I don't know it off by heart.
What?
I can give you the meaning.
What? From the Bible. I can give you the meaning of Al-Masih too. But you want it from the Quran. Al-Masih. From Masaha, which comes to wipe. What does it mean to wipe? These were people who were unknown. Can I finish? Can I finish? It is an Aramaic word, right? That was brought into the Arabic language.
So it was originally an Arabic word.
Aramaic.
Okay.
Which was brought into the Arabic language. It was a title used for those that were anointed. Wiped here meaning anointed. And
anointed or wiped?
Both. That's how you will be anointed. This is what they used to say for the prophets.
Would you disagree what Ibn Abbas said about the Messiah?
About what?
About what the word Messiah means?
I did not disagree with Ibn Abbas.
Ibn Abbas says something different.
What does he say?
He says the Messiah means king, or the Messiah means the one that...
Where does he say this?
In the tafsirs, Al-Imran, Ayah 45.
Which tafsir?
Tafsir from Ibn Abbas.
Which tafsir?
What tafsir? The tafsir of Ibn Abbas.
Did Ibn Abbas write a book of tafsir?
I'm not 100% sure.
So where did you get this information from?
From the tafsirs that I've seen online.
From the tafsir online named?
I think it's on Quran.com.
Oh, Quran.com is a tafsir?
No, it's not a tafsir.
Or is it a website?
It's a website with the Quran, but it shows you tafsir.
So when Ibn Abbas says what about it?
He says that the Messiah means the one that travels, or it means the king.
Sure, this was used for kings who were prophets in the time of Israel as well, right? Like David and Solomon. So when he says this is used for that, it is not in contradiction to saying.
It gives different definitions.
Again, so let me explain to you. If I ask you what's a man?
What's a man?
Yeah.
A man?
Yeah, a man.
I'm a man, you're a man.
We'll see about that. But what's the definition of the word man?
Well, I believe a man is somebody with the chromosomes.
Chromosomes.
Yeah.
So anybody with male chromosomes is a man?
Yes.
Okay, what if I say that somebody has male chromosomes, but he doesn't handle himself respectfully? So a man is somebody who keeps his word.
Of course, but...
So would that be a contradiction?
No.
So you got caught?
No, it's...
Because, no, let me explain. So when you say just having male chromosomes makes you a man, and I say you have to live like a man, you have to keep your word, and you say of course, that doesn't mean there's a contradiction. Let me finish, bro, take it easy. Just because you're caught doesn't mean you gotta get flustered. You are caught, right? Okay. On video. So, when you say a man, and you give different descriptions. Somebody may say a man who takes care of kids, a man who keeps his responsibility, a man who works hard, a man who keeps his word.
Describing the role of the man.
Exactly. You're giving different aspects of the word and the meaning. So when you say Masih is a Rasul, is a messenger, as the Quran tells, he is nothing more than a messenger. And somebody else says he's also the one who's honest, right? And somebody says this was the name given to the kings because at the time of Ben Israel, kings and prophets were together, right? And they were wiped, meaning anointed, and this was the way people would know for them to be prophets. None of that's a contradiction. It doesn't mean if you take one, you have to reject the other. Just like when you say a man has chromosomes or a man has. Now, from the hadith, you explained from Ibn Abbas what a Masih is, right? So now I'm going to ask you from your Bible or your hadith, show me what the word prophet means.
I don't know exactly.
You don't know. You don't know, and you think you're not. You will get back to me, okay?
Yeah, I will get back to you.
When you get back to me, then we'll continue this conversation.
On that note, we would like other people to also interact. I really appreciate your time.
But I do have one question for you as well.
Of course.
Excellent.
It's about the Quran?
No. You're going to get back to me, so we're going to continue that. Okay. So you said that.
Well,
Hold on.
When are you back in England?
I'll be back in England soon, inshallah. Inshallah, I have 4 trips planned, and I'll give you the number to the brother who coordinates.
Okay.
Me and you will, what's your name?
Charlie.
Charlie. Okay, Charlie. Can you read this for me? Charlie, Would you like reading this for me?
Isaiah was 22 years old when he became king, and he rejoined one year. Reigned 1 year.
I thought English was you guys' language, man. That's all right. Reigned 1 year in Jerusalem.
Yes.
His mother name was Athaliah, the granddaughter of Omri. I'm reading upside down. Okay, now.
You're going to go to where he says he's 44?
No, I'm going to go where he's 42.
42.
Go ahead.
Isaiah was 42 years old when he became king, and he reigned 1 year in Jerusalem.
And his mother's name was? Athaliah, the granddaughter of Omri. So how could he be 22 and 42?
Okay, so it goes back to the history of the manuscript. Right?
Okay.
From my understanding, I'm not saying this is the right answer.
So you believe in this book and you're not sure if it's right or wrong?
I'm saying from my understanding, because we're not perfect. You admit that you
not perfect at all. Of course.
You can learn more and you might make
I could.
Okay, so from my understanding is when the manuscripts were written down, right? And it was written down over and over again. We got loads, thousands, tens of thousands of manuscripts, right?
Keep coming.
When they copied it down, from my understanding is that when they copied it down,
the words of God,
100%. Some of them have
errors,
translated it wrong.
Oh, so from what's your name again? Charlie is saying, hold on. Charlie is saying that from people writing down the Bible, they made translation, transcript errors that were then printed and passed out in every Bible that we get, which clearly contradict each other numerically between 22 and 42. Okay, how many of these errors were made?
Well, I can show you, right?
How many of these errors were made?
I can give you how many there was made.
Hundreds, thousands, tens?
I think it's mainly to do with the, no, I don't think it's hundreds of thousands.
You don't think so? So do you know how many?
I think it's like less than 20.
Where did you get that number from? Where did you get this number from? Don't try to jump now. You're gonna get back to your research. That's going. But so don't try to run. This is why this is kryptonite for you.
Is that kryptonite?
This is it is because you just made up a number.
I didn't make up a number.
You didn't make up a number, Charlie. Don't lie.
Don't say.
Charlie,
exactly
don't lie.
Don't lie.
Don't lie. Where did you get that number from?
Where did I get that? From reading the Bible. And
you found 20 errors.
I found the age differences, so I looked them up. I looked at the manuscripts, right?
Okay.
I looked at the original language, and then that's what I came to a conclusion.
So one thing we agree now is the Bible has errors.
No.
You just said it. Transcription errors.
I believe that the translations could be incorrect, but I'm not 100% certain.
Again, Charlie, 22 and 42 is not a translation issue. They're two different numbers.
Of course.
It's not, look, we speak English in different ways. Yeah. If I said 22 or if I said 22, would that be a different number?
No.
If I said 22 and I said 42, is that a different translation or a different number?
Different number.
That clearly contradicts. Hold on. Can I be 22 and 42?
No, you cannot be.
So that means a contradiction.
No. Let me explain for you.
Please.
So if I write down 22,
okay,
and it's on some old piece of paper,
okay,
and you saw it, right? But you thought it was 42.
Excellent.
And you write down 42.
That's an error.
That is what.
Listen, Charlie, don't lie. God sees you, huh?
You haven't let me.
Charlie, hold on. Let me just, in your own example, you go to give a test.
Yes.
In your schools in the UK.
Yes.
And the answer is 22.
Yes.
And you wrote 42. And the teacher read clearly 42. Yes. Would she give you the marks?
No.
Thank you. Thank you. Why would she not give you the marks, Charlie?
That's not this.
Why would she not give you the marks?
You can't compare that.
Why would she not give you the marks?
You cannot compare.
Excuse me, Charlie. Let me just finish. Why would she not give you the marks? She would tell you 42 is the incorrect answer. It's an error. She wouldn't tell you translation. She wouldn't tell you close enough. She would tell you this is wrong. Your answer was 22. So if you cannot be 22 and 42 at the same time, then one of them is an error. And you have here admitted, whether you want to admit it or not, that the Bible has, how many? You said less than 20? I'll prove you wrong on that too, but it's okay. Let me ask you this now. Read for me. And I know you've already read these, and I know you know these, but you deny them. But Allah will make it apparent in front of everybody. And
Jacob begot Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born Jesus.
so who's the father of Joseph?
According to this.
According to the Bible.
Yeah, according to the Bible.
Who's the father of Joseph? Who's the father of Joseph?
Jacob.
Excellent. Read.
Now Jesus himself began his ministry at about 30 years of age, being, as he was supposed, the son of Joseph, the son of Heli.
Who's the father of Joseph here?
Heli.
Is Jacob the father of Joseph or Heli the father of Joseph?
I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, you're not. Is this an error?
I don't think it's an error.
Okay, so if I clearly show you that in one verse it says Jacob is the father of Joseph, and the other clearly says that Heli is the father of Joseph, that's not an error.
I would have to look into that for you.
You haven't looked into this? You're a Christian? You read the Bible?
Yes.
That's an error. Charlie, be honest.
I don't think. I think.
Charlie, be honest.
I think there is.
Charlie.
A reasonable explanation for it.
What is it?
That's why I will have to look it up.
You think there's a reasonable explanation even though you've never looked it up?
I haven't looked it up. I haven't.
But you believe there is a reasonable explanation because of what?
Because
you clearly see that there are two different names, and there's a reasonable explanation. What is it? I've never looked it up. Then how do you know that one exists?
Because
Charlie, you're caught, bro. This is why it's kryptonite. I got you. We're just getting started. We're just getting started. You see these? You see these? This is more than 20. I got you on this. I got you on this. We're gonna have fun. Okay. Now, as the white man that you are, and if a man, you want me to read it or you want to read it? Let's have you read it. You read it.
No, you read it.
No, you read it.
You love reading it?
I'll read it. I do love reading it.
Okay.
And you're going to hate me reading it.
Why am I going to hate you reading it?
If a man beats his male or female servant with a rod so that he dies under his hand, he shall surely be punished. Notwithstanding, if he remains alive a day or two, he shall not be punished, for he is his property. You believe that God allowed a slave master to beat his slave, and if he remains alive a day, there is no punishment because humans are properties of others? You believe this is the word of God?
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Thank you.
So you believe that if a slave owner beats his slave so bad, he lives a day, but dies after that, there is no punishment?
I think if God said it, then it must be just.
It must be just. You believe, Charlie, this is justice. That a slave be beaten, male or female, so bad, he dies a day later, and there is no punishment because that slave is the property of somebody else.
I believe that.
You believe that you need to get out of this conversation?
No, I thought someone just called me. I believe that if God said that, then there must be a reason and it's just.
What's the reason?
Well, it's just right there.
What doesn't say what the reason is? Oh, because it's property. You believe people are people's property. Slavery was justified.
I believe that.
You believe, like, for example, Africans that were taken from Africa by your ancestors, if they were beaten and they lived a day. Well, Europe didn't engage in slavery?
Of course, but you can't just say my direct ancestors.
Not your direct ancestors, but people from your nation.
People from the UK.
UK that brought those slaves. If they beat them and as long as they lived a day, there is no punishment because those black Africans were the property of those Europeans. You believe that?
I believe that if the Bible says that, then
Interesting. No wonder you didn't like the Bible. And that's why you didn't like me reading this, huh? But it's okay, we're coming. We're just getting started now. Yeah, we got this, man. Don't worry.
About Timothy 2:16.
After this, I would have to go after this last one.
Oh,
I answered 3 or 4 of your questions.
I got you. One more. No, you were going to get back to me with your research to continue.
Of course.
1 Samuel, verse 15, verse 3. Chapter 13. Just 1 second. Just give me 1 second. We're just finishing, huh? Now, Charlie. Now go and attack Amalek and utterly destroy all that they have, and do not spare them, but kill both man and woman, infant and nursing child, ox and sheep, camel and donkey. You believe, just 1 second, yeah? You believe that God ordered the killing, the massacre by sword, of infant children, nursing children, ox and sheep and donkeys? You believe that's just? Thank you, Charlie. Have a good day.
Have a good day.
Thank you so much.